Just a military, and I give them awards for anything virtually.
35th anniversary.
Yeah, well, I think the 40th anniversary was in 1989.
Quad 37mm. No, quad 20mm.
No, I just.
We're reasonable, yeah, and it's done nearly 23,000 miles from new.
But there you go, you couldn't ask for more than that. And you almost need a step ladder to get into it as well. Anything American has to be big. It does. Very nice piece of equipment. Here we come. Mercedes built in Germany. There we go. Now these things can go literally anywhere. They're very short wheelbase, very high ground clearance, and the full drive capability is just outstanding. They really, really are. And they're used, again, all over the world. This is how popular they are. Tell us about your use.
And this is one of two Unimog's we are here today. So the Unimog's on top. And yes, we are here for the weekend, just for a little bit of enjoyment.
Sounds like a plan. It really does. Thank you very much. There is a bit of a soft place in my heart for the Unimogs. They are very, very nice. So pop over and see Dave and Greg over at Mini Tanks, and they will happily sort you out. I've had a go in one of them, and it is serious fun. It really, really is. So yeah, it's all good. But there's plenty to do. We have a fun fair. We've got all the vehicles and the owners that you can talk to. Have a look at the planes coming in and out. Even though I don't think there's many flying today because of the weather. But yeah, so we're going to reach back to the plane again. That's a very nice bit here. It's actually very quiet for a plane of that size. A self-propelled gun of that size. Shoot ahead in front of the main body of troops. Have a look, see what's there, see what trouble is coming their way. That's behind the 2SV. Now this is a Scorpion. This is a CVRT, which stands for Combat Vehicle Reconnaissance Tracked. Now, believe it or not, you would have thought, oh, it's a tank. It's heavily armoured. Take loads of pounding before it blows up. Now, these little ones are actually made out of what type of equipment they got, how many there is of them. Now, these CVRTs were very, very manoeuvrable, doing at least on the sort of 6 miles an hour up motorways, and they used to be part of the Heathrow defence. Now, there's many different types of CVRT. Now, the good old British Army like to name their all their vehicles. So this one's called a Scorpion. There's a Scimitar. There's a Sabre. There we go. Now there is a story, and the commander jumped off the decks of the tank and went to his knees in a bog. But the Scorpion was actually still sitting on top of the bog because the track, because it's so long, it spreads the weight of the vehicle, so it actually had less pounds per square inch on the floor than the commander did when he jumped out and went up to his knees in muddy, horrible bog. Vehicles could actually stay a little bit to the back and put down some support fire to cover the troops going in. There you go. So I think we're going to just park them up. Lovely, lovely bit of kit. Sounds absolutely gorgeous. It really, really does. Now I'm going to give the mic over to somebody who knows a lot more about the Cromwell than I do. Who's going to tell you about what engine it's got, where they went. Not very, very square. Now say your armour is, okay, go 4 inches thick. When something hits the side of something that's flat, all the pressure from that round gets pushed on that one little point. Now when the Russians brought out the T-34s, they started to slope their armour, had curves on it, so it looked so square and things like that. So they did lay that thing over an angle now. Rounders were heavy on it, bound quite acceptable. But as the Cromwell comes round, look at the front of the tank, and you'll see a little round hole, and that's where the driver sits. Imagine driving into Tesco's and finding that spot where you think, oh, is my car going to fit? Isn't it going to fit? Do I drive in? Or do I reverse in? With this thing, you can do whatever you like. Okay, I'm just going to get him to do a spin. So just have a look at this little thing as it spins round. Oh, it will spin a lot tighter than that. I blame that on the driver. Oh, apparently it won't do it. Doesn't like the grass. Now here's the question. These were everywhere. They really, really were. They were used for a multitude of things, carrying troops, stores, anything that could fit in the back or anywhere it could go, it would quite happily go. So I'm going to ask the gentleman here. The only tracked armour, the only tracked vehicle where the wheels that are actually in contact with the ground are inflatable. They had inner tubes in them. Because my father used to drive them in the British military, and he actually got a clip round the ear from a policeman. So that became the Viking, which is actually in use now out in Afghanistan. The Royal Marines will go backwards and forwards with supplies of ammunition, food, water, fuel, anything that you can put in the back, you can put in the back. But it is basically a truck on tracks. There you go. Yeah, the British Army used this for quite a long time. Now it is actually an American design, as you can probably see by the front of it, an American plane still. But very useful. And then off it pops, round fell on target, and then they can do something out there that can actually tell where rounds are coming from. And it doesn't take long to triangulate that position. So they'd fire a few rounds off, and then they would bug out, move to a different location, lights both ends. The only way you can really tell is where the headlights are. Now at the moment, believe it or not, it's actually going forwards. But you see there's 2 hatches. So what can happen is that the guy that's driving at the moment, he can pop down, move along, come up another hatch, and then drive the other way. Now the bucket on the front, these were used by the engineers. So they would be digging trenches, they could be levelling out runways. Anything that you need a digger to do, this could do. It does create a lot of deep mud. They actually had a rocket-propelled anchor that used to sit on the front. Yes, a rocket-propelled anchor. So if they did get themselves into trouble, they could prep the anchor, fire the anchor off of the vehicle itself, attached to, well, hopefully they've remembered to attach the tow rope to it, and then they could winch themselves out. And they just kept doing this until they got themselves out of trouble and they could find it again. There you go, you can see it's gone back the other way now. So the driver's popped up into the other hatch, driving forward, and it literally, it's a JCB digger on steroids. That's all it is. Now believe it or not, these were completely amphibious, so these could float. These had a close back in a dry street. You'll get a close look. Which does take a lot of pride, precious in it. But it is actually an American design. So these had a close look. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. You'll get a close look. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it. When it does take a lot of pride, precious in it Now the MOD didn't penetrate at that particular point. It was good night. It's very fast, very manoeuvrable. They were only really used for reconnaissance, so again they would push forward ahead the main body of troops to find out what trouble might lie ahead. Now they've got a Browning 30 caliber machine gun in the turret. Now this is a Mark II, a little bit of heavier armour on it, as in the weaponisation of it. So there it is. So that's the Mark II Ferret. Now the Rolls-Royce engine in the back, straight 6 engine, and it had quite a funny gearbox as well. It had what they call pre-select soldiers, and then you'd have a driver and a commander. Now this particular model is one of the infantry models. So it had a few extra gizmos put on the top to carry some heavier weapons, just for a little bit of support, just in case they got into trouble. Now if you look at the Ferret behind, and you look at the Saracen in the front, the turrets are exactly the same. Took the turrets off of the Ferrets and put them on top of the Saracens. And again, they would either have had a 30 cal machine gun or a GPMG, which would have been poking through, just generally for more support, really. There we go. So these two vehicles are basically exactly the same as the 6-wheel Saracen. Now this was to detect something that they used to call transmission wind-up, because it is 6-wheel drive. And what used to happen is, when it used to go around corners, or it spent a lot of its time on the road, the wheels used to sort of fight each other inside the drive axles. Now the white lines, if they came out of line, all three of them, that means one of them had actually started to wind up. And what this would do is make the steering force neutral in these, because you're actually sitting astride the gearbox inside. Now again, the steering wheel was inverted on these. A little bit of less vision on top of these. They used to put all sorts, and they also had riot shields that used to fold out, so the soldiers behind the Saracen could actually go forward towards the rioting in relative safety behind a bit of a caged wing. Very, very nice piece of kit. Not the easiest thing to drive in the world. They are power steering. The Ferret isn't power steering.
And then we've got onions.
I hope you're going to fry out the skins.
We crisp them up in the oven. It's the only one.
Yeah, that's an old house. It's got the shed. Is it dirt?
Kettle boiler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.